Have you ever noticed that in the gym, even those who already seem to be in perfect shape continue to train in an almost obsessive way, always dissatisfied with their own bodies? Or maybe you look in the mirror and think you're never enough, despite your progress. These feelings are much more widespread than you imagine. Often they have a precise name: body dysmorphia. Today, I'm taking you on a scientific and practical journey into this phenomenon. We will talk about data, research, and concrete strategies to recognize and face it. We will do it without moralizing and without taboos. Body dysmorphia is a condition that is destroying guys in the gym. It is a dysmorphophobic disorder recognized by the international scientific community. It manifests as an obsession with perceived physical flaws. Often these flaws are minimal or non-existent in the eyes of others. They become a source of constant discomfort and anxiety. In the world of fitness, this condition takes a particular form. It is called muscle dysmorphia, also known as bigorexia or vigorexia. Here, the fixed thought is that you are too small or too thin. You feel you are never muscular enough, even when objective results say otherwise. Data and statistics. According to a meta-analysis published in Body Image in 2024, muscle dysmorphia affects between 7 and 10% of male gym goers under 35. The peaks are recorded among those who practice bodybuilding or follow very strict training regimens. In Italy, a study from the University of Padua found that 15% of young people who train at least 3 times a week show symptoms compatible with the disorder. Why in the gym? The answer lies in 3 main factors identified by research. The first is constant comparison. Training surrounded by sculpted bodies and extreme performance fuels social pressure. The second is measurability. Modern fitness is made of numbers, measurements, and visible progress. This pushes people toward obsessive body control. Finally, there is the influence of social media. The University of South Australia has shown that seeking approval through likes and comments increases the risk of muscle dysmorphia. This is especially true for those between 18 and 34 years old. The warning signs. Recognizing muscle dysmorphia is not simple because it often hides behind dedication to fitness. Here are the signs that science suggests should not be underestimated. Distorted perception. A study from UCLA has shown that those who suffer from muscle dysmorphia see themselves as up to 20% smaller than they actually are. This happens even when 3D scans prove otherwise. Compulsive behaviors. Checking oneself in the mirror more than 8-10 times a day, measuring arms or chest several times a week, taking compulsive photos to compare progress. Social avoidance. Avoiding beaches, swimming pools, locker rooms, or any situation where the body might be judged. They often wear multiple layers of clothing to look bigger. Impacts on daily life. Social anxiety, depression, isolation, and loss of interest in activities not related to training. In extreme cases, it leads to the abuse of supplements or anabolic substances. A study by King's College in London linked muscle dysmorphia to a 3-fold risk of steroid use compared to the average. The deep causes. Body dysmorphia does not arise from nothing. Scientists have identified a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors. Genetic predisposition. There are personality traits such as perfectionism and a tendency toward anxiety, which increase the risk. Family and social environment. Growing up in contexts where physical appearance is praised or criticized can leave deep marks. Digital culture. The daily bombardment of images of perfect bodies, often retouched, creates unrealistic standards. According to a 2023 study, exposure to extreme fitness content on Instagram and TikTok is correlated with an increase in symptoms of muscle dysmorphia in young men. Scientific self-assessment test. Now, stop for a moment and try to answer these questions, taken from the MDDI, the Muscle Dysmorphic Disorder Inventory. Do you often think your body is too small, even if others tell you otherwise? Do you modify your diet or workouts in an extreme way to achieve a certain physical appearance? Do you avoid social situations because you feel uncomfortable with your body? Do you use supplements or substances thinking they are essential to improve your appearance? Does the thought of skipping a workout cause you anxiety or guilt? If you recognize yourself in at least 3 of these situations, science suggests exploring the issue with a professional. The consequences. When muscle dysmorphia takes over, the repercussions can be profound and often underestimated. From a physical point of view, the first risk is overtraining. Training without listening to fatigue signals leads to chronic inflammation and muscle injuries. The body produces excess cortisol, which hinders muscle growth and can disturb sleep. Another consequence is the use of powerful supplements and substances up to anabolic steroids. According to a study, about 12% of young people with muscle dysmorphia have used steroids before the age of 20, with enormous risks for the heart and liver. On a psychological level, anxiety becomes a constant companion. The fear of losing muscle mass can turn into panic attacks. Mood becomes unstable and depends almost exclusively on physical appearance. Depression is a frequent consequence. Social isolation is perhaps the most insidious consequence. You avoid going out with friends and life narrows to the gym, kitchen, and bedroom. A Harvard study found that those who suffer from muscle dysmorphia have 40% fewer meaningful social relationships. Practical strategies for getting out. The good news is that getting out of muscle dysmorphia is possible. The first strategy is mindful body awareness. Learn to perceive your body not only for its appearance, but for the sensations and abilities it expresses. Another strategy is to diversify your goals. Focus on strength, endurance, and mental well-being, not just aesthetics. Setting performance goals helps shift the focus from external judgment to personal progress. Also fundamental is the restructuring of thoughts. Recognize distorted thoughts and replace them with more realistic affirmations. Cognitive behavioral therapy is effective in reducing symptoms in over 70% of cases. The role of the environment is crucial. Family and friends can help by valuing qualities that have nothing to do with physical appearance. Proposing activities that don't revolve around the gym helps rediscover the pleasure of movement. The choice of gym also makes a difference. Choose environments that promote overall well-being and social connection, not just competition. If thoughts about physical appearance take up more than an hour a day, if anxiety interferes with your life, it's time to turn to a specialist. A family doctor can be the first point of contact. Building a new balance. The path to getting out is not easy, but it is definitely possible. It means learning to see training as self-care, not as punishment. It means rediscovering the pleasure of movement and building an identity that goes beyond the body. A powerful exercise is to write your non-physical biography. Ask yourself, what are my values, my passions, my dreams? Cultivating this part of yourself helps build a more solid and lasting balance. If you have recognized yourself in some of the situations described, don't stay silent. Talking about it is the first step towards change. Now it's your turn. Have you ever heard of muscle dysmorphia? Do you think that social pressure and social media have influenced your relationship with your body? Tell us in the comments. Your contribution can help other guys and girls who are going through the same situation. Like this video if you found it useful, share it with anyone you think might need it, and subscribe to the channel, and you won't miss other insights on well-being, personal growth, and mental health.